Hey. Everybody doing? This your boy Jay right back at you. Everybody doing out there? I want to let y'all further know right now I'm sitting right here in the brain chamber with some of the greatest activists and organizers in St. Louis. Some of the individuals I met and worked with, also side by side, getting jobs done here in St. Louis and also across the nation. You know what I'm saying? I want to introduce y'all to Janina and Kente. I want y'all to, since tonight is strictly free night. And what I mean by that, ain't nothing but jewels being dropped. And I'm going to pass the mic.
What up, everybody? My name is Janina. I'm from St. Louis. I'm an activist in Ferguson, Black Lives Matter, 515. I don't know, like, I want to do whatever it takes to make black people free, black and brown people free, okay? Like, we got to be free whenever that takes, okay? And I want to pass the mic to Kente.
Well, hey, everybody, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm Kente, the Empress, the queen of all fucking queens.
Already. That's what I'm talking about. Not that you heard it from them on the basic tip. That's just the basic tip to identify y'all who y'all dealing with tonight. Because tonight is gonna be a deep night tonight. And we're gonna step off into something heavy, straight off the dome. These individuals right here got a lot of things to say, a lot of tools to give, a lot of awareness to let you brothers and sisters know what's really going on behind the scene, also on ground, also up under the sun, also in the nighttime when the dark is down. Go ahead, my sister. Just off the dome. Just give them a little, just give them a little something. Give them a little something, Kente. Just give them a little something, sister. About a little healing, though. Just give them a little something about healing. Not too much, just a little about healing. Just a little bit.
Okay, I'll keep it simple. It's important to heal. I mean, especially if you want to build longevity and you want to break generational curses, you have to heal. It starts with self first. If you don't work on yourself, you will not be able to build anything because it'll be built on faulty foundations. You have to go into things with good intentions. So that means freeing yourself, and that means healing from the things you never thought you could heal from.
Preach.
Simple.
Preach.
And remember, sometimes you go back into a time where when you're working and you healing right, sometimes you fall back. But remember to keep pushing forward and don't give up and keep going. Because at the end of the day, like, if you really want to break generational curses, if you really want to heal from trauma, as far as like your father not being around, mommy issues, whatever the issues are, if you really want to break that shit, you got to really put effort into doing it. Because I can tell you one thing for sure. My best friend can say, let me tell you this shit, like, she dropped them gems on me and I learned from it and I live it. Because at the end of the day, she been healing. She led the path for me and her friends. And she been leading the path. You hear me? And she haven't given up on one person. If you really want to do it, and you really want to break, like she always says, it's not just financial. It's breaking generational curses as far as forgiving not yourself first, and then forgiving the person that hurt you. But you have to start with self first in order to really heal and grow. It's not easy because I found days when I go into a dark place. But guess who I can depend on all the time, though? I always can depend on her because she's always here. Because sometimes you backlash and you go back. But if you want to really break it, you have to move forward. And you got to listen, because me personally, I want to break generational curses. I don't want to keep on repeating the same cycles. I don't want to invest it into my kids. I want to be different. I want to teach them the correct ways to communicate, the correct way to heal and love a person, but you have to love you first.
Yes. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about right there. That's what we're talking about right there. Real chopping. Real chopping. Y'all just heard it from that young sister. That's very heavy right there. And I need y'all to grab a hold to that and take that into heart, because that's very serious right there. And I also been working with this young lady and the lady beside her, and I also know then inspired. Hold on, give me 1 second there. We got a lady right there in the black right there. She have a question. Go ahead, Miss Lady.
I have a question for Janina.
Okay, go ahead.
She made reference to having someone there for you, like a best friend.
Okay.
Were you meaning that in like a mentorship way, or what kind of way what was a best friend there for you?
She's my mentor. She's the person I look up to. Although I had a big sister, but I know I couldn't always rely on her, and I could always rely on her. And it wasn't never for. It was never for the attention. It was because she genuinely gave a fuck about me and she loves me, and I know I could depend on her no matter what.
Sister love.
Sister love.
Okay.
I wanna say a few things on that there. And hold on, I'll get back to y'all with that, and I will let y'all know what I had to say. But I got a brother back there in the white cap back there to the right. Go ahead, my brother. Say what you got to say, my brother.
I have a question for the lady, Miss Jinsei. What is the first step to the healing process?
Good question. Yep.
Well, honestly, I feel like everybody healing process is their own process. You can't. A lot of people got to understand that. Look at it like this: if you run in a race, you can't look in the other person's lane as you running your race. You only got to look forward in your lane. You know, like everybody process is different. But for me, I started off with looking myself in the mirror, identifying who I had become because of society or the things that was embedded in me, or the toxic cycles that I had picked up on from family, from my own mama, from my daddy not being there. So when I looked in the mirror, I had to realize that I had became this person who lived my life through fear versus faith. And I also realized a lot about myself at that time, but I also realized that that didn't define who I was ultimately. That's who I was at the time. And so that's not who I wanted to be. I wanted to learn to live from a soul level. So like Nina said, I always tell everybody around me, it always starts with you first. So like a lot of times when people get into arguments with people, they look at what the other person did. I try not to do that. I try to always look in my mirror and see what I did and what I could have did differently. That way I'm working on my growth. It's not about the other person, honestly. It's really about you. It starts with you. And so I mean it starts with really identifying who you have become, because sometimes we can become hateful, envious. I had become a lot of things and I had to recognize about myself. I tried to run. A lot of people get to the mirror, they recognize this thing about themselves, these things about themselves, and they feel like that's ultimately who they're going to be. And so they become stuck and they stop themselves. They become stagnant. So they don't keep going. A lot of people get scared, but they don't understand that. In reality, that really doesn't define who you ultimately are. Um, that's just who you have become because of the things that was embedded in you from society, from mankind, from human. Because I mean, we all here just having the human experience. We're spiritual beings. So I mean, in reality, all this shit was created by humans. So we go by it and we just think that it's just so true. You don't think you ugly unless a person told you you ugly. People don't realize that. You had to hear those type of things to believe that about yourself. That's why I'm big on affirmations, reminding yourself of you strong, you great, you everything. Like you don't need people, you want people. Total different. So but you start with self. You identify yourself and where you're at, and be honest and open with yourself. Because if you're not honest and open, then how are you really gonna grow? You still lying to yourself about where you really are.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Wow.
Boy, like I say, tonight I gotta take a breath, but this is very serious and it's deep. And I love every bit of that because you know what I'm saying. Like I said earlier, I work with these young ladies, man, and I had a great experience working with these young ladies. You know, and all I want to do right now is just let them just take full control. One thing I know for sure about a real man, if the woman can drive, we will let them drive.
Yes.
We will let them drive. So I'm gonna pass it over to you, my sister. Drop a few jewels on the people.
The first thing I'll say is I like jewels, but I want us to remember that jewels rust and gems don't. So I'm gonna drop some gems, so it won't rust on people. Um, I really want people to understand. Like a lot of people, they go with the hype of what everybody else is doing. Um, generational curses was brought up. That's a big deal to me, breaking those generational curses. A lot of people think it's about finances and building financial wealth, but really it's deeper than that. It's really healing from a lot of stuff. It's really breaking out of those toxic relationships. A lot of times we toxic bond with people, and we don't understand that that's not good for us.
Excuse me now.
Yeah.
We got a lady there in the green right there.
Yeah,
Hold on, excuse me there, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am. It's a lady before you. I apologize. You'll be next. The lady in the green right there. I see you in the black. Go ahead, ma'am. You're right there. Go ahead, speak.
So, yeah. Can say I see you speaking on a spiritual level. What I wanted to know is, are you speaking from experience? Because you're so deep about it.
I only can. I've grown to a certain point where I understand that I don't even like to give advice, to be honest with you, because people gonna do what they want to do. And I'm a love and support it regardless, because you should do what you want to do. It's your life. You shouldn't live life for other people. Anything I speak is always from experience. I've experienced so much. I've experienced childhood trauma. I've experienced breaking generational curses. For example, addiction run heavy in my family. I was very addicted to opiates. I'm very open about it. I had to break that generational curse. That was a big deal to me, because addiction runs heavy in my family. So anything I speak about, I only can speak from experience. I've experienced a whole lot. And what I've learned is sometimes when you come here on the earth to be a healer or to do a certain, to serve a certain purpose,
Drop them gems.
You have to go through certain things, because people are gonna see what I just told my best friend the other night is, people don't understand when I say, as I went through my spiritual awakening, because I'm very much into spirituality. I would not be where I'm at without my ancestors, without my spirit guides. See, what happened was they made us think that the things that our ancestors was doing was witchcraft. So then they tried to take us
touching some basics,
and they tried to make us go into this whole
basics.
religion bullshit. And see, I don't believe in religion. I'm God in my own world. That's why I feel nobody sit there how to judge me. Only I can judge me, because I'm God in my world. See, a lot of time people judge themselves, and so they feel like everybody else is judging them. And so once you learn to stop judging yourself, you don't give a fuck about what people think. Right. And so I've came so far with that, because all the shit I've been through. And again, when you came here to serve a certain purpose, I feel like you have to go through certain things, because your story is the story that you tell is going to be what helps one heal their self. See, the thing is I feel like I was brought here to help people heal, but understand me when I say I don't give myself that much credit. My ancestors speak through me. And so when they speak through me, I'm just dropping gems, and it's up to you to pick them up, and you're going to heal yourself. I don't give myself that much credit. The ancestors are working.
They say you took a man down there and teach him how to fish. He should fish on his own.
You know,
that's what she's saying now.
I wouldn't be able to say any of the things that I'm saying without my spirit guides, without my ancestors. They speak directly through me. So I've been through a lot, Sean, and I've overcame a lot, and that's all that really matters. Is where I'm at now.
Thank you. Thank you.
You already know now. One thing about a storm, if you got an umbrella, you won't get wet.
What you said, or dance in the rain.
Because hey, look here, we dancing in the rain right now, and we ain't got an umbrella, but the knowledge so purified, we can't be wet, and that's something for you. And sis, I want to say something too about what you were saying earlier, and you know, and I really truly believe, you know what I'm saying, just, you know, it's a different speaking for something you have read, something that you have learned, or something you have seen or been told. You know, we quote those quite frequently. But when you're speaking from something that you have experienced, something that you feel, when you're speaking from something that's greater than you and I have showed you something that man can't determine. Now, we can Google a lot of things, We can read and research a lot of things. And a lot of people get up there with great solutions of ideals. Solution come from the idea, from the database that they're reading, not the experience of walking on ground. This is a different type of message. But when you actually speak something that your peers cannot understand, that he have given you from the beginning of time, he said, you will speak a language that your peers cannot understand. You know what I'm saying? So when you speak that there, I know that this is something you have not read. This is something that someone greater than you and I had to make some type of contact with you. You had to see something that I cannot Google. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference there. And I was just listening to your story there, and I was like, man, I don't know to say if you was in the valley, or you slid through heaven hills and slid to the valley, or you went through the valley to learn how to get to the heaven hills and appreciate your blessing, because you learned from your lesson, and you've been a blessing to be able to bless someone. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that though. That's very deep to me. You know what I'm saying? And I like y'all brothers and sisters out there. If you got any questions, want to make any comments, got any type of suggestions. I know a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, they're very spiritual, they're very soul, they're very seeking. You know, seeking is a great thing. It's good for your health. But we're going to come back. I got another young lady that's going to come on the show when we come back after this break. Shantae going to come on the show. We're going to be talking about organizing and different other type of things. But I want y'all to stay tuned, and I appreciate y'all for being here, and I'll be back with y'all shortly. Thank y'all. Have a blessed moment, and we should return. There is nothing more beautiful than spiritual union.